Hey Nerd Society, ready to dive into the world of one of Marvel's most unstoppable forces? Today we're talking about the Juggernaut. Whether you're a longtime fan or just curious about this powerhouse, we're bringing you 10 things you absolutely need to know about him. Before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's get into it. Juggernaut's origins. The rivalry between Marko and Xavier runs deep. When Charles Xavier discovered his telepathic abilities, he used them to gain an edge, even becoming a skilled athlete. This only fueled Cain Marko's jealousy and deep-seated hatred toward his stepbrother. Despite their differences, the two ended up fighting side by side during the Korean War. During a heated battle, Cain decided to desert his post and fled to a mysterious temple hidden within the Korean forests. Charles followed, trying to prevent his brother from facing a court-martial. But when he caught up, Charles found Cain inside the Temple of Sidorak, an ancient deity. Cain stumbled upon a mysterious gem within the temple, and upon touching it, he was transformed into the Juggernaut. With his newfound power, Cain made his escape. More on the Juggernaut's transformation. Cain Marko's transformation into the Juggernaut is one of the most significant events in his life. The gem he touched wasn't just any ordinary artifact. It was the Crimson Gem of Sidorak, which bestowed upon him immense power. As the Juggernaut, Cain became virtually unstoppable, gaining superhuman strength, durability, and the ability to generate unstoppable momentum. His connection to Sidorak also granted him near invulnerability, making him one of the most formidable beings in the Marvel Universe. But this power came at a price. The Juggernaut's immense strength and invulnerability isolated him from others, feeding his rage and deepening his animosity towards Xavier and the X-Men. Over time, Cain's desire for revenge against his stepbrother became one of his defining characteristics, driving many of his actions as the Juggernaut. First appearance. Juggernaut made his debut in X-Men number 12, published in July 1965. Created by the legendary duo of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, his origin story was immediately explored in this issue, narrated by none other than Charles Xavier, who, as it turns out, is not only Juggernaut's greatest enemy, but also his stepbrother. Cain Marko's father married Xavier's mother shortly after she became a widow. As children, Cain was extremely abusive towards Charles, constantly bullying and mistreating him. Over time, the future Professor X learned a dark truth. Cain's father was responsible for the death of Xavier's own father. Ironically, Cain's father later met his end at the hands of his own son. This twisted family history only fueled the intense rivalry between Cain Marko and Charles Xavier, setting the stage for Juggernaut's menacing role as a supervillain. Powers and abilities. As Juggernaut himself claims, he is an unstoppable and uncontrollable force of destruction. His powers are essential to maintaining his apocalyptic mission. Juggernaut's primary abilities are rooted in movement. Once he gains momentum, nothing can stop him. Beyond this, all the demonic gifts granted by Sidorak support his unholy crusade. He possesses super strength, superhuman durability, invulnerability, near-limitless stamina, and even regenerative abilities. If that weren't enough, Juggernaut is also resistant to telepathy, thanks to his helmet, which is crafted from the crimson bands of Sidorak. This makes him a nearly indestructible foe, capable of taking on the mightiest heroes in the Marvel Universe without breaking a sweat. Kurth's partnership. Once Juggernaut embraced his role as a villain, he unleashed his powers to wreak havoc and destruction wherever he went. This quickly made him a major enemy of the X-Men, who were always on high alert to stop his devastating attacks. Like any villain worth his salt, Juggernaut sought out a partner in crime, and he found one in another relative of a member of the mutant team. For many years, Juggernaut became close friends and accomplices with Black Tom Cassidy, the cousin of Banshee. The two engaged in all manner of violent crimes, from hostage-taking to property destruction. Together, they even spent time as mercenaries, carrying out illegal activities for whoever offered the highest price. This partnership made them a formidable and dangerous duo, causing chaos across the Marvel Universe. Avatar of the Enigma Force? Despite being a colossal villain, Juggernaut has had his moments of redemption. He starred in several stories alongside Spider-Man, and while he was often the antagonist, there were times when he actually helped the hero. One notable instance involved Juggernaut being hunted by Captain Universe, who sought revenge for past actions. Captain Universe is the avatar of the Enigma Force, a universal defense protocol. When the Enigma Force realized that its current host had ill intentions, it abandoned him and chose Cain Marko as its new avatar. This allowed Juggernaut to use the Enigma Force's power to restore the tectonic plates beneath New York, which had been damaged by his own actions in a previous escapade. This storyline is a rare example of Juggernaut stepping into the role of a hero, albeit temporarily, driven by the influence of a cosmic force. Attempts at redemption. As mentioned earlier, Juggernaut isn't entirely evil and has made several attempts to embark on a path of redemption. For a long time, he even allied himself with his former rivals, joining teams like the X-Men and Excalibur. However, he could never fully embrace heroism, largely because he saw Professor X as a hypocrite. Despite this, Juggernaut did find a place where his powers and abilities were put to better use. Within the ranks of the Thunderbolts, a team briefly led by Luke Cage. During his time with the Thunderbolts, Juggernaut committed himself to rehabilitation, participating in rescue and salvation missions. But everything changed with the arrival of a mystical hammer, which derailed his attempts at staying on the right path. A new vessel. However, Sidorak always needs a Juggernaut on Earth to carry on his legacy of devastation. Although Ileana Rasputin offered to take Cain Marko's place, it was her older brother Colossus who accepted the burden. For a considerable time, Colossus donned the crimson bands of Sidorak, becoming the new Juggernaut, until he was possessed by the Phoenix Force. After the events of Avengers vs. X-Men, Colossus' sister used her powers in Limbo to strip the power of Sidorak from him. Once Colossus returned to his original form, Cain Marko reclaimed his role as Juggernaut and went back to his criminal ways. He has since clashed with the all-new X-Men and, more recently, Iceman, proving that the legacy of the Juggernaut is far from over. He is physically unstoppable, thanks to the mystical enchantments of the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. Juggernaut becomes physically unstoppable once he starts moving. When he gets going, he can smash through anything in his path, reaching speeds of over 600 kilometers per hour, about 370 miles per hour. His immense strength and infinite invulnerability already make him a significant threat, even when he's standing still. But his true purpose on Earth is to bring destruction in Sidorak's name. To make things even tougher for anyone trying to stop Juggernaut, he can generate a powerful force field around his body, making him even more invulnerable. This aura has even withstood the power of Thor and Mjolnir, enhanced by its own dark enchantments. All of this combined makes Juggernaut nearly impossible to stop by any physical means or abilities that aim to halt him. Kurth, Breaker of Stone. During the Fear Itself saga, Juggernaut became the wielder of a mystical hammer blessed by Kull, the Asgardian god of fear. Once infused with the arcane powers of the artifact, Cain Marko transformed into the avatar of Kurth, Breaker of Stone, and embarked on a bloody rampage across the world, once again destroying everything in his path. He quickly became a top priority for the X-Men, who tried various creative methods to defeat him, but failed. As a last resort, Magic traveled to the dimension of Sidorak, the demon who originally empowered Juggernaut. There, she informed Sidorak that Marko was now serving another master, which enraged the deity and led him to abandon his avatar. Stripped of Sidorak's power, Cain Marko was left vulnerable, ending his terrifying reign as Kurth. His mind is his only weakness. There's no mystery about how to stop a Juggernaut. Despite their unstoppable physical strength, Juggernauts have surprisingly vulnerable minds. Over the years, the most tested and truly easy way to bring down a Juggernaut is to hit him with a powerful enough psychic blast to knock him out. Even formidable telepaths like Jean Grey and Quentin Quire, as well as, depending on the writer, characters like Psylocke and Emma Frost, have been able to penetrate his helmet and exploit this mental vulnerability. And that wraps up our look at Juggernaut. Thanks for watching and diving into the unstoppable force that is Cain Marko with us. If you enjoyed the video, Make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below with your thoughts, or any Juggernaut facts we might have missed, and subscribe to Nerd Society for more awesome content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're always updated on our latest videos. See you next time.